We're building DB Pro, a modern database client for macOS, Windows, and Linux, designed specifically for developers, founders, data engineers, and everyone in between. If this is your first DB Pro devlog, you're joining at a great time. We've just shipped the biggest update DB Pro has had so far, and a lot has changed. In this video, I'm going to walk you through what we added to DB Pro recently, and how we've been marketing DB Pro, including what definitely didn't work. We managed to waste a decent chunk of money trying to market DB Pro, so if you're building a developer tool or SaaS product, you'll probably want to hear that part, but more on that later. We also just passed 3,000 downloads, which is a huge milestone for us considering we launched DB Pro on November 27th, 2025, a little under 2 months ago. This is devlog number 5 in the series, and if you want to see how DB Pro started or how the product evolved over time, I've linked all the previous devlogs in the description below. Alright, let's get into it. We wanted to kick off the new year with an absolute bang. We knew if we were going to start the year strong, this next version of DB Pro had to be the big one. Not just incremental tweaks, but proper, meaningful features. A huge part of that comes down to the community that we've built around DB Pro. Our Discord has grown into a really active, friendly group of developers who are constantly giving us feedback. What they like, what's missing, and what they want to see next. That feedback genuinely drives our roadmap. If you're not already in there, the link to the DB Pro Discord is in the description below. And to everyone already in there, you are awesome, thank you so much. Now, users were asking for some big features, and we knew we wanted to get as many of them in as possible for this release. So in this update, we shipped SSH tunneling for securely connecting to databases behind firewalls, Microsoft SQL Server support, which was one of the most requested features, bulk import and export to move data in and out of databases properly, system keychain integration so credentials are stored securely, Neon database support for modern Postgres workflows, and as always, an absolute ton of bug fixes and improvements across the app. This release was about taking DB Pro from really solid to something that genuinely feels powerful for day-to-day database work. Oh, and there was one feature we knew we had to get in. It was something we'd be talking about internally for a while, something that kept coming up in feedback, and something that just felt like it needed to exist in DB Pro. But I'm going to keep that one a secret just for now. All will be revealed a bit later on in the video. If you're just joining us, the way we build DB Pro is by splitting each month into 2 clear phases: build and then marketing. During the build phase, we're fully heads down writing code, adding features, fixing bugs, and shipping improvements to the product itself. Then we deliberately switch gears. The second half of the month is about marketing DB Pro, working on the website, writing blog posts, sharing updates, and generally making sure people actually know the product exists. And as a small company, that part really does matter. You can't just ship code and hope people magically find it. If you don't tell people about your product, it doesn't matter how good it is, you just won't survive. So we got to building. Let's start with one of the biggest requests we've had since launching DB Pro, Microsoft SQL Server support. A lot of database tools don't support SQL at all, or support it in a really limited way. For us, this was about making SQL Server feel like a first-class citizen inside DB Pro. This wasn't too tough to add support for, but in typical Microsoft fashion, they do a few things differently that we weren't expecting. Next up is SSH tunneling. This one really was essential. A huge number of real-world databases sit behind private networks or firewalls, and without SSH tunneling, a database client just isn't practical for production work. With DB Pro, you can now connect securely through an SSH jump host, using either a password or a private key. We know there's a lot of you guys out there who are going to be very happy about this one. By the way, if you haven't tried DB Pro yet, it's free to download on Mac, Windows, and Linux. It supports Postgres, MySQL, SQLite, MongoDB, and Microsoft SQL Server, plus cloud databases like Supabase, Neon, and PlanetScale, with features like a visual schema explorer, pending change previews, and a powerful SQL editor, all built for developers. To download DB Pro, go to dbpro.app or click the download DB Pro link in the description below. Alright, back to it. Now, remember that feature I said I'd keep secret earlier? Whoa. Well, this is it. The Global Action Bar. This lets you access pretty much everything in DB Pro from a single command palette. Switching connections, running actions, navigating the app, all from the keyboard. Once you start using it, it's one of those features you really can't go back from. Here's how it works. You either click the bar or press shortcut K. The Global Action Bar opens beautifully, showing you a list of actions you can perform. The order of these actions can be customized in the settings by clicking this button and by rearranging the order here. You can quickly access tables, save queries, and even run SQL statements directly in it. It's super powerful and will be making it even more powerful in the future. Next up is bulk import and export. This was about making it easy to move data in and out of databases without jumping between tools. You can export tables, import datasets, and generally handle real data workflows without leaving DB Pro. We knew we had to get this right, so one thing we've included is the ability to see exactly what's happening when you import, step by step. It makes importing very clear. You can also choose to action or not action certain steps in the import. Once the build phase wrapped up, we switched gears into marketing. They say your website is your best marketing tool, and I tend to agree. It's your chance to showcase the product before someone ever downloads it, which is especially important for a desktop app like DB Pro. So the first thing we focused on was the DB Pro website. We updated it to properly highlight the new features we've just shipped and features that already existed in DB Pro. Each major feature now has its own space, with clearer explanations and visuals that actually reflect what DB Pro can do in practice. I added a new product navigation that expands to show all the main features, plus most of the more powerful ones. I think it makes the product feel fuller and more complete. I'm curious what you think. It's good for now, but the website should be something that evolves every so often with the product. I was looking through the analytics and noticed we're starting to get referrals from sites like ChatGPT and Perplexity. It's interesting to see traffic coming from there already. It feels like a small but real signal of how discovery and SEO are really starting to shift. I discovered that there's a new concept called GEO, Generative Engine Optimization, that we now have to consider. So optimizing our content for large language models to understand and start mentioning us was really a key move. Our marketing approach right now is to run small controlled experiments. We don't want to guess, and we absolutely don't want to burn money. I mean, we're a small team after all that launched just under 2 months ago, so we really don't have unlimited money. The plan is to try one thing at a time, measure it and move on quickly if it's not working. So, the first experiment we tried was Reddit ads. And for us, they just did not work. We spent £67 or just under $100 and ended up with one download. One. Not even a subscription, a single download. We ended up getting around 73,500 impressions, which resulted in just under 400 clicks. Looking back, it's not that surprising. Reddit users are extremely good at ignoring ads, especially developer audiences, and there's very little intent there. People aren't browsing Reddit because they're actively looking for a new database client. So for now, Reddit ads are a channel we're stepping away from. Looking ahead, there are a couple of things we're actively planning for DB Pro. The first is key value database support, starting with databases like Redis. A lot of teams use SQL databases alongside key value stores, and we want DB Pro to support that workflow properly in a single place. And second, and my absolute favourite, dashboards. There is plenty more coming, but those are two of the big areas we're focused on next. As always, thank you so much for watching this devlog. Your support genuinely means a huge amount to us as we build DB Pro. If you're enjoying these devlogs, please do take a minute to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, see you later.